Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I am really struggling with how bright the lighting is right now. I have not sat down to film in about 2 weeks, so all of a sudden these bright lights are just like right in my eyes. It's also surprisingly warm again in here, considering that it was like raining outside a few minutes ago, so let's just get on with it. As you guys know, if you've been on my channel before or if you follow me on Instagram, you will definitely have seen this. I have an interesting relationship with Revolution Beauty. I have reviewed a lot of their products on my channel, some of them good, some of them bad, and you know, sometimes I see them do things online that I'm like, what are you doing? What are these prices? Well, how does anything make sense? Just so many questions. But every now and then they do release some products that kind of make me go, okay, right, you've got my attention. I'm curious, I want to try this. Revolution Pro have released a new line of makeup products that all contain SPF, and I believe it is called the Protect range, and I was just really interested. It's really nice to see people getting into wearing SPF daily more often. It's really nice to see it in more products, and I really wanted to try them. Now, there are 4 products in the range. I have, however, only got 3 to test today. We will get to that later on in the video. I ended up getting mine from Superdrug because at the time when I ordered online, there was 20% off, I think, on Revolution or just Revolution Pro, and then if you had a Superdrug card you got like an extra 25% off, so I was like, brilliant, that seems like a great time to try these products out. But I believe that they are, as always, sold on Beauty Bay as well and on the Revolution website. So right now I haven't got any makeup on. I am just about to start getting ready for work. I'm gonna see how it survives going to work. I'm wearing a mask all afternoon, so yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing these products and seeing my thoughts on them, then just keep watching. Alright guys, I have got my window open, so I do apologise right now for any noises. It is Monday morning, so I'm hoping we shouldn't have too many noises. The bin men do come round though at some point this morning, so I need to make sure that I get all the talking out of the way before they come round. So let's start by talking about our first product, which is the Revolution Pro Protect Soft Focus Primer. Now this primer comes with an SPF of 50, and when I saw that, I was genuinely quite impressed. I feel like we don't often see SPF 50 in makeup products. We're normally looking more at like a SPF 15, maybe 20, maybe 30 maximum. And in case you can't tell from seeing me on camera, I am really pale. At this point in life, I basically can't go out in the sun without getting really itchy. Like, I'm just turning into a vampire. So having a product with an SPF of 50 sounds really great for me. Now I think the security sticker does cover up the claims of the product, so let me try to get in and actually find out a bit more about what's going on. Why am I struggling with this? Why do I always struggle with packaging, guys, honestly? Alright, well, I've managed to get the product out, but there are actually no claims on the back of the bottle, so I'm gonna have to go on the website. This contains 27 milliliters of product, so we are at slightly less than a standard primer. I find a lot of them do contain 30 mils, same as a foundation. And as always with Revolution, the product is cruelty-free. I don't see that it is vegan anywhere though. This is £10.99, which is kind of a lot for a drugstore primer, especially when you're 3 milliliters short of a normal product. But with all the discounts, I ended up getting it for £6.97. Gotta be honest with you guys, if I hadn't been able to get the discounted price on all the products, I probably wouldn't have picked up 3 of them, like maybe 2 or maybe just the 1. Oh wow, apparently this is £12 on Beauty Bay as well, but $10.99 on Superdrug and Revolution Beauty. I would avoid getting this from Beauty Bay. I didn't actually realize that would be the case. Just in terms of claims, apparently this has a demi-matte finish, which helps give skin a smooth and balanced appearance. If you haven't been on my channel before, hello, I do have pretty oily skin most of the year, so demi-matte, definitely a good thing. It says it can be worn alone as a daily defense against UVB rays or under makeup for a flawless looking base. Now, I have already done my skincare routine. That will all be listed and linked down below if you guys are interested, and I am actually already wearing SPF. I did actually put that on earlier today. It's had like over an hour to sink in, so it shouldn't be interfering with the product in any way. The correct amount of SPF that is recommended to apply to your face, I think, is like 1/4 of a teaspoon, or you can do the 2-finger method, which is what I've been doing. I find it works really well, where basically you apply 2 strips of product, 1 on each finger, and that gives you enough product to apply on your face. I'm not not about to apply that much primer on my face. Like, it's definitely going to be too much product. So that is why personally I prefer to have a separate SPF in my routine, and I could put it on early in the morning. By the time I get to applying my makeup, this is giving me a little bit of a top up. So that's why I do like the idea of SPF in my primer, but this is never going to be a product that I use alone. Like, I'm always going to use a separate SPF product. Right, so let's start pumping it out. Okay, right, it comes out really white. Like, this does look like a sun cream. So I'm just gonna put it on, and I'm gonna put it on my whole face today. It definitely has a fragrance, but it's kind of already faded away. Like, I really smelt it as soon as I put the product on, but it's kind of already gone away. It's not too strong. I can't put my finger on what it is. It seems to have absorbed into my skin pretty quickly. I'm not really seeing any white cast. I can definitely still feel it on my skin. Like, it definitely feels more like a sunscreen than a primer. I'd almost be tempted to let it sit a little bit longer. Like, I don't feel quite ready to apply my foundation over it. I guess it's getting there. It definitely absorbs faster than a normal sunscreen. It's got the word soft focus. Does it feel like it's particularly blurring? I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like it's like super blurring. It doesn't say it on the box or in the description, but the name soft focus would normally imply that. I would say in terms of finish, demi matte, okay, I can see it. Like, it's not as shiny as a sunscreen would normally be, so that side of things I'm quite happy with. See, what I just don't like is how it feels on my nose, especially because this is the first place that's gonna get oily, and it's not doing anything to mattify it. It's not doing anything to reduce that. So yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna pop some foundation on now. We're gonna see how it looks on top. So for foundation, I'm gonna go with one that I do really enjoy. This is the W7 Very Vegan Perfectly Matte Foundation. I'm gonna use the shade Buff. I do have a review if you guys are interested. It's a foundation that I know works really well without any primer underneath. So we're gonna see kind of how it lives in with this primer today. We're just gonna see how it looks. So, in terms of how the foundation is looking over that primer, I'm looking at my pores right now, and they're definitely not super blurred out. So, would I call this primer soft focus? Not really, personally. For me, what is worrying me right now is that my nose in particular looks so shiny, and my nose is the place that gets oily the first out of everything else. So right now I'm thinking that we're probably not gonna get, you know, really good long-lasting effects out of this. So yeah, I'm not feeling super confident about the primer right now, not for oily skin. I'm just gonna carry on with the rest of my makeup right now. So even though the foundation has got great coverage, my skin is not doing so well. So I'm just gonna start off with a little bit of spot concealing using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Porcelain. Then I'm going to highlight using my W7 Very Vegan Perfectly Matte Concealer in the shade Fair. I'm just going to use my Revolution Eye Bright setting powder to set my under eyes. And I'm also going to use it to mattify the center of my face. I'm going to powder the rest of my face with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Light Plus. Now Revolution does have some powders in this range as well, and these are the products that I didn't pick up. I definitely only remember seeing one when I was placing my Superdrug order, but according to the Revolution Beauty website, they do actually have two, a loose one and a pressed powder. If the pressed powder had been there, I may well have picked that one up, just because I have clearly just used pressed powder on my face. We definitely needed mattifying, so it would have been great to see how that one worked. And the powders do also contain SPF, which allows you to reapply the SPF throughout the day, because that is definitely where I fail, especially when I wear makeup during the day. Like, you can't really reapply SPF over makeup unless it's in certain forms. So for that reason, it would have been really interesting. The only thing is that both of the powders only come with an SPF of 6. I don't really understand it. There's just no point in an SPF of 6. It's not really gonna do more for me than just reapplying my normal powder, so I just didn't see the point. I didn't bother. Just in case you are interested in knowing the prices though, they are both £10 and they are both mattifying translucent powders, so they both only come in one shade. Again, £10 for a powder that I may or may not like, that doesn't have a high SPF, not really any point for me. So let's move on to the next product, which is normally one that I would apply right at the start of doing my makeup, but I forgot. I'm kind of a mess today in terms of forgetting things. I was supposed to glue my eyebrows down with my pink honey, and as you can see, I haven't done that. So this is what happens when you go a couple of weeks without filming. You just forget everything. Anyway, our next product is the Revolution Pro Protect Conditioning Lip Balm. This is a lip balm with an SPF of 15, and that is a product that I feel like I really do need to use in my routine. Again, as someone who is really sensitive to sunlight. I have a few of the Malibu Lip Care lip balms. I almost forgot the word lip balm for a second. They have an SPF of 30, so that is definitely, again, a bit better. Like, we have an SPF of 15, and most people probably don't use SPF on their lips, so, you know, I would say better than nothing, but again, for me, I would, you know, probably prefer the higher SPF. However, I would say that I do kind of struggle with the texture of this one. It can get quite crumbly. It's not as nice as other lip balms, and it's definitely not as hydrating. Although saying that, at this time of year, my lips don't really need as much help as they do the rest of the year anyway. So the packaging on this one does look really nice. Like, it's really sleek. Again, this one is cruelty free, and it is also vegan, and we are getting 1.6 grams of product. So just to compare the Malibu one, does it say? Okay, the Malibu one actually contains 5 grams, so by comparison, this is really small. The normal price on this one is £7.50, which is kind of high for a drugstore lip balm again. But with all my discounts, it came to £4.66, which is more acceptable, but, you know, again, realizing how little product we're getting in this one, I'm not super impressed. So we're gonna see how it feels on the lips. It does say UVB protection with vitamin E. It says that it's gonna be ultra comfortable. It does look nice. It's kind of giving me slight Fenty vibes, I think. All right, yeah, let's put it on and we'll see how my lips feel when I'm done with my makeup. Oh, this is like really gliding on. It is a completely different texture from the Malibu one. Okay, yeah, that's quite nice. That does feel really rich. Again, my lips don't get super dried out at this time of year, so I would probably want to try it out in winter and see, does it actually work then? Like, that's gonna tell me if it's a good one or not. But yeah, it feels really nice. It does feel like, not thick, but definitely like rich, I guess, but without being too thick, without being like gloopy or anything. Like, yeah, just a nice comfortable lip balm. What I'm gonna do now is just go off camera, do all of the rest of my makeup up until we get to the lips, and we'll see how my lips are looking at that point, if they are looking crusty or anything, and then we'll test our final product. So yeah, let me just quickly go and do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be right back. All right guys, so the rest of my makeup is now on. I've just gone for something really simple today, but you know, a little bit bronzy, a little bit summery, even though I think it started raining outside again. I want to feel like I am on holiday. I ended up using my Modern Renaissance palette, which I hadn't used in months, and you know what, it still works. It's still a good one. So let's get back to the products that we were testing, starting off with the lip balm. Now yes, my lips do look like they are a little bit crusty right now. However, that is definitely not the case. It is literally just because I kept the foundation on underneath putting the lip balm on. I mean, in terms of how my lips feel, they feel absolutely fine. There's definitely still product on there, so I am gonna have to remove it. So I'm gonna grab a tissue and I'm gonna blot my lips a little bit. I'm gonna try and get as much of it off as I can, just because I want the lipstick to sit all right on top. Okay, yeah, we're good. It doesn't feel heavy or anything anymore. They feel really soft, actually. They do. I've just realized if I remove the lip balm, it probably doesn't make much sense for the SPF. Like, I've basically just removed that protection. So yeah, I would definitely recommend using this earlier on in the makeup look. Don't leave it as late as I did, because otherwise you're getting rid of the SPF protection and just completely defeating the point of the product. So that was a little bit silly. What I might do is just remove my lipstick later on anyway before heading to work, because I will be wearing a mask, and just pop some back on before actually heading outside, and I guess let you guys know how my lips feel by the end of the day. So let me just quickly pop on some lipstick. I'm gonna use the Lime Crime Plushie in Pumpkin Latte. Alright, so let's finally move on to the last product in the collection, and that is the Revolution Pro Protect Soft Focus Fixing Spray. So this is a setting spray, and as everything else in the collection, it does contain SPF. And just like the powder, I do think that this is a good idea, because it's going to allow you to reapply your SPF throughout the day. The SPF in this one is 30, which is much better than the powder. Again, as someone who is super pale, I think I would just prefer it if it was an SPF of 50. Like, I'm not really sure why there's different different SPFs throughout the collection. This says that this has a demi matte finish. It helps to set makeup and give skin a smooth and naturally radiant finish. So that does sound quite nice. The first thing that I did think when I saw this though was that it is pretty small and it does contain 50 milliliters. Now just comparing that to some other ones that I have an I Heart Revolution one here that's 100 milliliters. The Revolution Super Fix is 150. The Too Faced Hangover, that's 120. And I think the Iconic London is 120 as well. So it is a pretty small one, but I don't actually necessarily think that that is a bad thing because this is the type of product that you can reapply during the day. So it's just something that you can put in your handbag. It's not going to take up a lot of space. So I'm not really mad at the size for that reason. The full price for this one is £8, which at first glance I would say definitely isn't outrageous. But when you take into account the fact that it is only 50 milliliters, personally, I think it should be half the price. I think if it was a full-sized, if it was 100 mil, I would get it. But for 50 mil, £8. As with the previous products though, I did get the discounts on them. I paid £6.21. Again, even the £6.21 I think is a little bit high. For me, this is a travel size. I think we should be looking at £4 or £3. So with this one, I am going to only apply it to half of my face. I do want to see the difference in how it looks on either side. So let's just get this spraying. Okay, that's looking like a pretty fine mist. I think I sensed a fragrance. Let's pop this on. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm moving a bit closer. It smells. Ooh. Wow. Wow. I've got to go to work like this now. What I was going to say before that happened is it doesn't smell of sunscreen. I actually think it really, really smells of alcohol. Okay, I can't smell it now, but as I sprayed it on my face, I was like, oh my God, all I smell is alcohol. It's like I've given myself white freckles. All right, let me try again. I'm going to give it a good shake. You can literally feel it on your face. The mister is super fine, and then every now and then you can feel a big droplet. There's loads of it that has gathered on my desk and I've just kind of wiped it off, and look at that. Let me focus that for you. It's like a powder. It feels really velvety. Like it does feel super, super smooth on my hands. It's everywhere. It's on my hair. You can see it's gotten on my shoulder as well. Right, let me grab, I don't know, my powder brush. Okay, right. This isn't so, I mean, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But as I'm just going in with my powder brush, I'm able to kind of just sweep it away. I don't know how to get it out of my hair though. I don't know what that means for the SPF protection. It clearly just hasn't covered things very evenly. I'm gonna guess this is a big no from me, just from having had that happen. Using the powder brush in my hair is not working, probably because it is like thick with hairspray. I mean, in terms of how the two sides of my face compare, I'm gonna zoom you in really quickly. I do feel like the side with the setting spray is like maybe a tiny bit more blurry, so I'm seeing that soft focus effect that I didn't really get before. Just like a tiny bit more blurry than this side. Like I feel like it has maybe just finished it off a little bit. Do I see a radiance? No, not particularly. Do I feel like it's more matte? No, I don't really feel like I see a difference in that, but I do feel like maybe it's slightly more blurry, so I feel like it has had an effect, but the blotchy patches is a big no-no, and my hands do just feel so powdery. Like it's all over my stuff, it's just left a residue. Like, is that gonna work for reapplying during the day? Probably not, because if you're just gonna get it all over your clothes, it's not really gonna help, is it? So it is currently just gone 10 o'clock. I don't know if you can see, but my phone is covered in the powder from the spray. It has just gotten everywhere. Wearing a white top was probably a really, really good idea today. I'm just gonna go about my day now as usual. What I will do is come back on camera after my shift. We'll see how everything is looking. I was thinking of maybe reapplying some of the setting spray to see like how it affected the makeup at that point and whatnot, but I don't really think we need to see that. Like there's I don't know that it's gonna bring us anything. I think so far this is the biggest fail. But yeah, I will be back in a few hours. We'll see how everything is looking and I will give you my final first impressions on the products. Alright guys, so it is now 6:10. The makeup has been on all day and I'm actually quite excited to show you this. So you know what, let's jump straight in. Let me zoom you in. Let me show you how things are looking. Alright, we obviously have the usual. We've got the glasses marks. I've, you know, rubbed it off around some of my spots. But guys, how good does my foundation look right now? I mean, again, it's rubbed off in the usual places that you expect it to from wearing a mask, like around the sides of my face and on my nose. Considering that when I put the foundation on, I was like, this is really, really shiny. It's lasted really well. I haven't reapplied any of the products. The only thing that I did is I did spray this half of my face with some extra setting spray after I was done filming. I will explain that in just a second, but I haven't powdered again or anything. And I have to say, I am actually looking pretty blurry. I think once the oils on my skin kind of settled in and melded everything together, it has made it pretty blurry. And overall, it has lasted really, really well. Am I noticing a difference between the two sides from where I had the setting spray and where I didn't have it? I've got to say no, I'm not really seeing a difference. I feel like both sides are the same. But yeah, overall it's looking really, really good. And if I hadn't been wearing a mask, I think everything would still be pretty much in place. So the one thing that I do want to do quickly is use the setting spray again. After filming the video, I was doing the shots for the thumbnail and I realized that I should probably have taken the shots while I had the white dots on my face. I thought, well, let me spray some more product and see if I can just get the white dots back. And I sprayed some more on and there were no white dots. I also want to see, you know, I've got a blank t-shirt now. Are we going to get any residue? Oh, okay, I've not even sprayed it yet. All I've done is shake it up and suddenly it's making me cough. It definitely is powdery and dusty, so let's just see what happens. We haven't got the white dots, we haven't. We definitely have the smell, we definitely have the alcohol smell. I'm not really here for that. But in terms of spraying on the sunscreen, we don't have the white dots. Have I just sprayed enough to get an SPF of 30, you know, to actually get the right protection? I don't know. But no white dots, so that is definitely a plus. So let's talk final thoughts on these products, and I have to say that I am actually pleasantly surprised. I wasn't really expecting much this morning after trying on the products, but again, my foundation does look really, really good right now. Starting off with the primer, I was really, really worried about this one this morning. I felt like it was just a bit too glowy, that I just looked so shiny once the foundation on, and I just thought that the foundation would slip and slide around when it's not a foundation that I have that issue with. But actually for oily skin, this did work. It didn't cause any issues. My foundation has stayed in place really well. I am definitely going to be trying this with other foundations this week. I want to try it with foundations that don't normally last as well for me, and I'm going to give you an update on this because yeah, I was quite surprised. The lip balm is also actually quite a nice surprise. They do feel pretty soft, like they don't feel crusty. Again, it's summer, so it's different from winter, but they actually feel quite nice. They feel pretty conditioned. I did reapply this one before leaving for work, as I said, so that I could get the SPF effect, and it is a nice lip balm. You just don't get a lot of product, and you know, that is a theme with all of this. The setting spray, again, I don't feel like I notice a difference between the two sides of my face. I don't feel like it's helped it last longer. It definitely didn't disturb my makeup, which is something that you want. You know, if you're going to be reapplying your sunscreen during the day and you have makeup, you don't want it to move things around, but I just don't know that I'm getting enough. I feel like an actual sunscreen spray would probably do a lot better, and you've got options out there that can be used over makeup that are going to be better value for money. So overall, I would say quite pleasantly surprised today. I do want to experiment with these some more and give you some updates. I think the main thing for me though does remain the price and how much product you're getting. Even though Revolution do say that you can use the primer alone, to actually get that adequate sun protection, you would need so much product, and it doesn't even contain 30 milliliters. You can get sunscreens for the face that are cheaper than that have got more product than that. So for me, that's the issue with this collection, is that even if the products are good, value for money wise, it's pretty bad. You can literally get the Malibu lip balms in packs of 3 for about £2-3, and this doesn't even have close the amount of product that they do. Unless these products do something incredible for me, I don't see myself repurchasing them, and I think you can probably find products that will do a similar thing and will be much better value for money. So that wraps up today's video, guys. I do hope as always that you enjoyed it. If you did, then do make sure you give it a big thumbs up, leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of it, and if you haven't already, then do hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys!